There are many reasons to quit YouTube, but envy and jealousy of another creator isn't one of them. That's just a toxic mindset. Hey folks, I'm Rob. Welcome back to vidIQ, educating you along this YouTube journey. And I hope that at the end of this video, you continue with your YouTube journey, because we're gonna look at a uncomfortable subject for many creators, and that's a possibility of deciding that YouTube is not for you and that you're going to quit. Of course, I hope that none of you quit YouTube. And it's not because we have stuff to sell here at vidIQ regarding YouTube growth. It's because I believe there is no greater form of communication in human history that has been accessible to so many people as long as they have a mobile phone and access to the internet. Now, I admit this is a very broad generalization, and I don't want to try and get into the politics of this, but 20 years ago, communication tools such as Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube simply didn't exist. It was very difficult, almost impossible for you to talk about something you're very passionate about and reach others all across the world who share that same passion without being on television or on the radio or writing in a newspaper. Almost everybody in the world, if they choose, has access to these communication tools. And we should be very thankful for that, because it has changed, for right or wrong, the world and many, many individual lives, myself included. Over a decade ago, I was a teacher, but not in a creatively free way that I am now. YouTube has allowed me to do that, and it's allowed me to turn my passionate enthusiasm for video content creation into a full-time career, and that is still unbelievable to me. But of course, I, just like many of you, have thought about quitting YouTube on the way. So let's start there actually. Why have I considered quitting YouTube, even though I have that many subscribers and all of these YouTube trinkets? Well, to put it simply, YouTube is damn hard and it doesn't feel very rewarding a lot of the time. Let me just give you a brief overview of my life on YouTube, which at this point stands at 12 years and around about 2,000 videos. It took me 4 years to even monetize my channel. It took me another 4 years to start earning enough money to see it as a viable career. It took another 2 years to get myself into this position where I'm now working for vidIQ and I guess being somewhat of an industry player. So for about 8 years of my YouTube life, it was just a hobby. And I think that was the most important thing for me. It was a passionate hobby, something I loved doing regardless of whether I got paid at that time. Now, of course, it sustains me and my family, so it's very important to me. But yeah, I fell in love with making videos long before I fell in love with any of the rewards that came with it. But YouTube takes a phenomenal amount of time as well. I remember when I was working full-time, I would get home at around about 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening, and then I would just smash out a video as quickly as I could because I just wanted to spend my free time making videos and have something for my audience to watch the next day. Yes, things have got a little more professional and a little more structured as I've moved into this vidIQ position, but fundamentally, I still have an idea and I just want to turn it into a video. I love that about YouTube. I love that people can watch my content and find it valuable, sometimes find it inspirational. And that's what continues to spiritually nourish me on YouTube. I know that over these 12 years and 2,000 videos, I have given so much to this craft and so much to the YouTube platform. But what I also acknowledge is how much YouTube, and more importantly, every single one of you who's watched any second of my content has given back to me as a human being. Those little moments of positivity that I've been able to give to you, you've returned 10 times into how my life has changed because of YouTube and all of you. And I think that's what a lot of people fail to realize as they're making content. First of all, before you start to see financial reward, you are giving so much to an audience, and they subconsciously, or whether you don't even realize it because they don't actually click that thumbs up button or they don't post a comment, you know, the silent majority, they are giving you something back. And you can see that through the YouTube data as well in terms of views and subscribers and watch time. Every time somebody watches some of your content, you know that you're doing good in the world. Fingers crossed. At least the YouTube community guidelines should ensure that it's usually good, purposeful stuff that's going out there on the platform. So many creators put so much into what I call the YouTube bank. And the thing is, a lot of the time, the YouTube bank pays out at random times, when you least expect it, and also way after when you expect it. There's this common image of two people digging underground, and one person has got so close to the reward, these gems, but they don't realize how close they are, and they quit. Whereas another person who's a little further back in this journey, but is working tirelessly and enthusiastically and passionately, is going to hit that reward. I think what this image needs is to reflect what you've already dug into on YouTube. And that's all of the people you've positively impacted with your content. Yes, I know you don't always hear from them, but they're there. And when they return to your content, they subscribe, they start to comment. Those are the people who you are impacting so positively. And just for everybody who does that, I want to give you all a thumbs up. The truth is, no matter how long you have been making videos on YouTube, your moment, your success could be just around the corner. And I know that sounds a little contrite for me to say, since I have made it. But there are many examples of this. Mr. Beast being one of them. He made a lot of videos over a number of years before he figured it out. And there is this one comment I saw on one of our community posts from Oliver Norden, who said that it took him 10 years to get his first 1,000 subscribers and just another year to get hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and now he has 500,000 subscribers. You will never fail. You will continue to get better if you don't quit. As much as it may not feel like it at times, YouTube, far from wanting you to quit, wants to see you succeed. Or at least it wants to keep viewers on the platform. And it does that by finding the right content for those viewers. But in order to keep viewers on the platform, YouTube needs to find good creators, which is where you come in. So it's in YouTube's best interest to give you the best tools and opportunities to make great content. YouTube Shorts are an example of this. Already, there are 6.5 billion daily YouTube Shorts views, and creators who want to leverage this new part of YouTube are finding phenomenal success. You only need to look at Jake Fellman, who we've talked about on numerous occasions on this channel, to find somebody who has been working hard at YouTube for a long time and has found very quick, immediate success with fantastic content. YouTube have also done a phenomenal job with a new creator studio. They seem to be releasing new analytics on a near weekly basis. The new information about who your audience watches as well as yourself, the new return viewers, which gives you so much more insight into the actual size of your channel as opposed to these subscribers. It's hard to keep up these days with just how many updates there are from YouTube, all designed to help you as creators. What YouTube is effectively trying to do is give you as much control over your content as possible. What you make, where you make it, who you make it for. As I've said in the past, there is literally an audience for every type of YouTube topic. And YouTube is going to do its best to serve your content to an audience that wants to watch that video. Let me just circle back to something I briefly mentioned there as well. Control. You have complete control to do whatever you want on your YouTube channel. It also means you're 100% accountable for what you do on your YouTube channel. But just imagine that for a moment. If you were able to create a successful channel, which eventually earns you some revenue, and ultimately you could turn it into a business, maybe even a full-time income, and you are in control of what you do with that YouTube channel, with your business, with your life. Currently, what I'm blessed with and I'm able to enjoy, turning my passionate hobby into a full-time professional career with all the thanks in the world to vidIQ. I get to commute 20 steps from my bedroom to this office/studio and make content that helps creators understand YouTube, grow their own channels, and hopefully emulate myself, and I hope even more, to exceed beyond what I've been able to accomplish. I mean, you could just label me a YouTube enabler. And yeah, I'm happy with that title. Go ahead. How much would you give to do something you love all of the time? This is the potential of YouTube. If you quit YouTube, you could be quitting creative control of your own destiny. Now, I want to reference this post we sent out to our vidIQ community, asking whether or not you'd thought about quitting YouTube at some point in this journey. And I was very encouraged to see that almost half of you have never even thought about quitting, which is very encouraging. I'm not sure how true this is. It does feel a little anecdotal because I think everybody at some point in their journey has questioned whether or not YouTube is something that they want to do over a long period of time. I'm also inspired by those people who have quit YouTube but have decided to come back to give it another shot. I think this reveals a great level of vulnerability and humility to accept that you believed you'd failed at something, but you were ready to pick yourself up and go again. And also, let me stress this. It is okay to take a break from YouTube. If you need to take a break from YouTube because life gets in the way or for your own mental welfare, then you have mine and everybody in your YouTube audience's blessing. I myself have done this in the past. When I moved from the UK to Canada, I took several months off. And you know, at some point in the next couple of years, I am going to take a break from YouTube because I'll be honest with you, I'm tired. I've been at this YouTube grind now for 12 years, and I think I've been on it non-stop for the last 5 years. And I don't finish any particular days feeling absolutely exhausted and say to myself, I'm done with YouTube. But I do have those moments of accumulated fatigue, be it an afternoon where I just can't think of a video idea, or I get really frustrated with myself talking to camera. In truth, I've been spending the last couple of hours making this video and getting frustrated because I keep fumbling over my words. At some point, I want to step away from the daily grind of YouTube to improve these aspects of my content. I guess you would call it professional development. Now, you don't need to worry about me. I'm perfectly fine. I'm not about to suddenly disappear from vidIQ. I still love doing what I do every single day. But what I also know is that in the grand scheme of life, at some point in the near future, I want to take a step back from all of this and go, where next? And you may be feeling the same things about your YouTube channel and your creativity. I'm not burnt out, but I do think I need a dip in the swimming pool. Now, does taking a break impact your channel? I'm not going to say that it doesn't. YouTube seems to think that it's absolutely fine for you to take a break. But at the same time, I know that YouTube's job is to find content for an audience that wants to watch content today and not wait for you to return with new content. It depends how loyal your audience is. Let me put it another way. If continuing to carry on your YouTube channel has more of a negative impact on your mental health than it would be on your channel taking a break, I think your mental health has to take priority. And let's be honest about this, YouTube is not going anywhere. And who knows, a break might be the perfect thing for you, as you may return with a fresh perspective and get out of that rut. Now, there are 5% of people who say they've quit YouTube and they're done, but maybe our vote is a little skewed in the direction of positivity, because let's face it, who's watching vidIQ now, if they've quit their YouTube channel, they don't need to know how to grow a channel. So they're probably not voting in this. But credit to those 5% of people who are still watching vidIQ, even if they're not trying to build their YouTube channels. I think whatever the actual genuine numbers are, YouTube creators are pretty determined people, and they're going to keep at this until they find their own little corner, their own little space, their community in the YouTube universe. And it is there. I can pretty much guarantee it for any creator if they work hard enough at their craft and they put the audience first. Having said all of this, the one thing that you should never put first is the success of other YouTube creators. There are many reasons to quit YouTube, but envy and jealousy of another creator isn't one of them. That's just a toxic mindset. Dan recently phrased this in a clever way during a live stream, and I want to adopt it here. It isn't their tube, it's YouTube. The moment you start to worry about other channels is the moment those channels' success starts to live rent-free in your YouTube mindset. More often than not, you don't know their story. And more importantly, your audience doesn't care about that channel. Your audience cares about you, your journey, and ultimately the success that you share with your audience. And if you quit, your audience could potentially end up being their audience. And in some weird, convoluted, backhanded way, they've won and they didn't even realize they were in a fight against you. Well done. You've just played yourself. And with all of that being said, Think Media, I'm coming for you. Now, yes, you are right. We've got all of the way around to the other side of the shelving. Why did I do this? I have no idea. I just want to try something different and new. And you know what? Maybe that's what some of you need to do. It is okay to quit. You know, many of life's lessons are learned from failures. I failed at being a writer. I came out of university with a degree in English with creative writing, and believe it or not, I wanted to write about video games as my professional career. That never happened. Instead, after university, I became a library assistant and then a teacher. And it was only after 12, 13 years of understanding this new creative craft of video making that I finally found my true calling. So through failure, I found success. And for you, maybe YouTube simply isn't your calling. But that doesn't mean to say that TikTok or Snapchat or Instagram isn't. These are all wonderful social networking platforms that you can explore. I mean, Clubhouse is a good recent example of this, the new audio networking social media platform. There are the emergence of these new moderators who are guiding conversations and becoming near professionals at that job, whereas they may not have succeeded on YouTube or Twitter or elsewhere they've been on the internet. I think the most important thing, creatively speaking especially, is that when you discover something you're really good at and you're passionate about, and it both impacts you and the people you share it with positively, give that thing your absolute best as much as you can. And let's be honest, if everybody succeeded at everything first time, life would get pretty boring pretty quickly, wouldn't it? But for those of you who are thinking about quitting YouTube, but deep down right now they know they don't really want to, then I want to give you one more inspirational pep talk. If you stick with YouTube and you get really good at it and it ends up becoming your job, it won't be the typical one. Instead of waiting for projects to come in or for somebody to assign you a task, you get to choose what you want to do. There are no gatekeepers. You are your own purpose. You can make content that is an extension of your beliefs, your hobbies, your goals, and that can be extremely fulfilling. If you do it well enough, you can simply get paid for being yourself. I mean, how cool is that? And by becoming passionate about things that you believe in and sharing your message globally, you'll get to meet people just like you who share those passions and beliefs and goals and ambitions. At the end of the day, people want to connect and have better opportunities and flourish in life. YouTube allows you to do that, and you can enable your audience to do the same thing. So, are you going to quit? I sincerely hope not. Far from quitting YouTube, I hope this video has inspired you to make a video right now. And if you do, make sure you have the time of your life doing it.